Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun,
Dum.
dun, 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 dun. Push the pod. Dun, 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 dun.
Push the pod.
Yeah.
Push it. Push it.
Liberty
That
Line
was beautiful.
PHL. That was
No
good.
chemistry, they said. They said there was
Yeah,
no
they said.
chemistry on the Wolves of
Yeah,
Broad Street podcast.
they really did say that.
That's asinine.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
my God.
send in the chat. Pew. All right, we've got that was the quickest push of the pod I've ever done in my life.
Dude, that was wicked quick. But here's the thing, Sam. You're forgetting the double push.
Son of a bitch. I forgot about
You're
Facebook.
forgetting the double push, man. Got to get it with those Facebook audience members.
Madon.
Real quick. I don't want to write a post. Just post it. God
Let's
damn it.
get
Seamus made the episode description on Facebook. Something cool, trendy, and interesting. And I didn't see that.
God.
And I did not update it. So let's start. Let's start the show, I guess.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh God. Oh God. Oh, hang on. No, I got to do this first.
Oh
I gotta
no,
share
dude.
it.
Is it the double push?
Playing. It's playing on my phone right now, and I don't like
I
it. All
hate
right,
when
I shared. It's shared. We're good. 3,
All right.
2, 1. Philly.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Philadelphia. Welcome back once again to yet another edition of the Wolves of Broad Street podcast. As always, my name is Ryan Conway, and joining me here is my illustrious co-host and wartime consigliere, Sam Glavin. And of course, we have our producer behind the glass, Seamus G, cooking up the tickers, the banners, etc. Boy, oh boy, Sam. It's been a rough week since we last spoke with the audience. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna break it all down. But first, we just had some exciting news that we want to share here at the libertyline.com. Entering into a little bit of a partnership with Park Sportsbook, if you will, starting on November 1st. So next episode, be sure to check back. We'll have a promo code for you to go create an account. You deposit $25, risk-free bet. It's going to be great. So stay tuned for that. We got a great code, and we're going to have some fun parlays set up. We're not big gamblers, but if they're paying us to gamble, we'll gamble. So with that being said, Sam, another team gambled and lost in Las Vegas this weekend. Yeah. Nick Ciriani didn't know when to hold him, didn't know when to fold him, and he didn't know when to walk away or when to run. So
no, he didn't seem to know much of anything. Not
at all.
That football game. That was a how do I put this? That was a shit show. That was really, really bad. And I was sitting there. I told you guys this last week when we were previewing the Raiders that one of my roommates is a Raiders fan, and just to sit there next to him and just get absolutely rocked by one of my roommate's favorite teams, it was not a good feeling, and it put me in a bad mood for 2 days straight. So thanks, Birds. Thank you. That was that's really the pick me up that I needed to start me off on this week, this very, very busy week. And I'm just so overjoyed that I get to relive it all again on this show. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I also love that any time that we've had to process is just now completely worthless because we have to go back and we have to pick at those scabs and we have to reopen those wounds to really talk about it. Because that game was, like you said, man, it was a shit show. It started out great with Miles Sanders running the ball. That first drive, I was like, that's what this team is capable of doing.
Yeah.
Just we got him through the air. We got him on the ground. I'm like, this is not a great Raiders team. We can go out and win. But then you saw Miles Sanders go down. You saw Jalen Hurts miss throws all over the field. You watched the defense continue to play soft. You watched our linebackers continue to get cooked in coverage. They had Darren Waller, probably the best tight end in the NFL or top 3 tight end in the NFL right now.
For sure.
He was out with multiple injuries.
Bench. On the bench.
And they bring in what's his face? Foster Moreau?
Moreau, yeah.
Out of LSU, who he was decent in college.
He's good.
But he's not Darren Waller. And so now if anything, I'm wondering how badly Darren Waller would have cooked.
I was thinking the same thing. I was looking at my roommate Jake. I was like, if Darren Waller was on the field right now, you guys would put up 50 points on
Oh my
this
God.
defense. 50 fucking points. That's how horrible Swiss cheese our defense is. Swiss cheese. I don't even like Swiss cheese. Terrible.
No, not at all. And I'm just looking at our defensive stats. Gave up, 33 points.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Carr had 3 incompletions.
Mm-hmm.
3. He threw somebody's pant size, 31 for 34. That's ridiculous. That should not be happening at any point. Especially, look, I'm a big Derek Carr guy. I've been high on the Raiders or as an organization for years, as you may or may not know.
Yep.
And it's been like, the team I like to watch in the AFC to see what's going on with them. But so Derek Carr is a guy that I think is pretty good, but he shouldn't be doing that to us. We have better corners than that. We have better safeties than that. We don't have better linebackers than that. But we need to find a way to adjust the scheme, get pressure on the quarterback, and also just not play soft and give them so much time to just quick dunk. And then if you can make a guy miss, you're going to be down the field. It just doesn't work like that. We can't keep doing that.
When I heard that Darren Waller was going to be out, I was like, that's perfect. That means our linebackers aren't going to get cooked by whoever it was that was going to back him up, because I didn't know him until he put up all those fucking yards on the defense. I said the corners are going to take care of business. They don't have they got a couple receivers. They got Ruggs. They got that guy Renfro, who I really like. But other than that, and I guess other than that, it's just it'll be cake for the defense, because what's that guy? Jacobs is what's his name? The running back? I don't even remember.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, Jacobs. That's right. Okay, so and Jacobs has been hurt the whole year, basically in and out with injuries, and so I wasn't worried. I wasn't worried about the run game.
But here we are.
But what I should have been worried about was Jonathan Gannon.
Dude, it's so frustrating. And you saw Fletcher Cox. He openly criticized the play calls. Mm-hmm. He's playing so many different techniques so often throughout the game. And we're talking about like, oh, Gannon doesn't adjust enough. It's weird because he adjusts enough to keep his own team from getting into a rhythm, but without actually introducing anything new. Like You'll have Fletcher playing, down lineman once and then, upright. You'll have him all over the place. And he said, I'm not supposed to play screens. I'm supposed to go sack the quarterback. And I'm like, well, yeah. And I mean, he's had a tough year, so he's definitely taking out some of his frustration because he really just has not been playing that well.
No,
but he's also absolutely not being put in a position to succeed. Nobody on this defense is set up to succeed. Alex Singleton, for as bad as he has been, for the fact that he is just Nate Gary with a middle part, essentially, like he has been done no favors by this defense. Basically, he plays back, allows a reception because he's not the best coverage linebacker, and we have a scheme where linebackers and coverage are super important. We don't have anybody that can actually do that, which is already ridiculous. But then they catch it 2 yards short of him. They turn upfield. If it's a tight end, he'll just barrel through him because Singleton's not that big. He's another one of those converted safeties that we love to have at linebacker. So obviously he's been bad, but the scheme has also been really bad for him. There's a reason. There can't be that sharp a drop off in production when you go from like leading the team in tackles to being this bad. I just don't think that his talent left him. I don't think he was. I think maybe last year he was elevated, but this year he's got no one around him. He's got no help, and he can't help himself. Gannon won't help him, and we're just screwed. And you see this here, man. 31 for 34.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous. That shouldn't be happening.
It's bad. It's about as. I mean, no, not to discredit Derek Carr. I mean, because I also like Derek Carr, and but that should just never. Tom Brady doesn't even barely put up those numbers, let alone Derek Carr. Like Derek Carr shouldn't be putting up those numbers. Defense has to be better. I mean, 442 total yards, but you're just letting them through all the holes.
Yep.
No sacks. It's so we didn't put any pressure on a hurt offensive line, and their right tackle Leatherwood, who I said last episode, is terrible, and we didn't use that to our advantage in the slightest. I think he got like a few penalties, and we still didn't help us. And 32, yeah, they had over half of the game of time of possession. It's the defense could not have played worse. I guess the only thing that could have been worse was the score. Like, I don't know what happened at the end. They just kind of stopped trying. But
yeah, dude, it's what Jalen Hurts does. It's the garbage time phenomenon. It looks like we kept it semi-close. Absolutely didn't.
Yeah.
And one thing, still, this is kind of defense, Nick Sirianni related. Do you remember that third down? It was going to be fourth down, but then Nick Sirianni accepted the penalty, giving them 3rd and 15, and then they go deep down the field to Zay Jones, and it's a first down.
Yes.
How do you not just make them punt, right?
Yeah.
Because they're
what
like,
was it for? Was it going to be how many yards? 4th and what? I don't remember that.
4th and 5,
dude.
Maybe
that's like
easily, they weren't going.
Declined.
It was too long to go for it. They didn't need to. Go for it. That just was not a situation in which if you say no, you guys can play 4th down. They're just not going to go for it. If they did, like, good on them. Like, they would have fooled me. Like, if I was the defensive coordinator, they would have fooled me. But I was listening to Gargano, and they were talking about like the chart. They have like a chart that they look at, or a graph. It's like where they are in the field, would they go? And it said for him to accept it. I'm like, I don't fucking care. I don't care.
How about
what
be in the yeah? How about be in the game?
Yeah. Watch the game.
Watch the game. Yeah.
Watch the game. Don't look at the numbers. The game's going on right there. You got the best seat in the house.
That's some Gabe Kapler shit if I've ever heard some. I don't know.
That ass, man. That's
pretty bad. But here's the thing, like, and the 4th and 5 and 3rd and 15 are totally different plays. I mean, I know that sounds obvious, but apparently we got to say it because Nick Sirianni doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
I have no idea, dude. What's going on there?
Like, if you're 3rd and 15, you're obviously going to want to try and gain some yards. But, maybe if it's 4th and 5, it just completely changes the complexity of the play call that is going to happen. And it's, I don't know, man. The coaching has been pretty poor. I mean, and I get it. They're all pretty much first year guys, right? I think the only guy that isn't like a first year coach right now is Stoutland, and he's the O-line coach, and he's the boy.
Yeah. It's like nobody in an actual position of power has ever done this before, and it shows. It is so blatantly obvious that nobody on this coaching staff has any idea what they're doing. And that sucks. That really sucks. I don't want that. I get no joy sitting here and saying, I don't think Nick Sirianni is cut out for this. I don't think Jonathan Gannon's cut out for this. And I know, and I honestly, I don't think Jalen Hurts is cut out for this. I don't think anybody that is here should be here next year or is good enough to be on a winning team. Now, if our goal isn't to win, if we're blowing it up and we got to start over, shit, that sucks. But then I guess, but that doesn't seem like what Jeff Lurie wants. Doesn't seem like what the city wants, and nobody should want to lose.
Yeah,
but we have guys in a position that they're going to lose.
I don't know that I'm ready to say that nobody should be here next year because I think Jalen Hurts can figure it out. I think under
let's
the
talk
right.
About Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, we can talk about Jalen Hurts now. I think Jalen Hurts. I mean, he had a pretty bad game because most of those stats are coming from the end of the game, like every other week this year. So he's pretty much like padding his stats at the end of those blowouts, which sucks because then I see it and I'm like, hey man, he looks good. Like he's got potential. Like, I don't know why he can't just do it like in the regular part of the game. So I'm not totally out on Jalen Hurts yet. I just can't go all in on a quarterback this quick and then come all the way back once again.
I understand. So. No, yeah, that makes perfect sense. It's too emotionally draining, and it's just like so much like fucked. Because then if you're out, where do you go? We don't have any options. Next year's quarterback draft is really bad.
It's terrible. So we have to stick with this guy. I think that it'll be okay. He's like we said, Ryan, we say this literally every episode. I love his press conferences. I love the mentality that he's got.
Yeah, but I don't like watching him play football anymore. I really don't. He plays like a high school quarterback. Like he looks like a really good high school quarterback. Like back in my, when I was in high school, like he looks like guys that like if I went to a football game, that's who I was watching. Like get the ball, immediately roll out and run. Like, no, like
Yeah.
just out route 10 yards over somebody's head. Like that's that's what we're working with here. And we got guys calling. We got a high school offense. We got a high school defense. We got Jalen Hurts. The reason Jalen Hurts is putting up these numbers in garbage time too is obvious. It's because the way teams play defense in garbage time is how the Eagles play defense for all 60 minutes. That sit back, soft zone, try and keep everything in front of you and inevitably fail because that doesn't work when you're in the NFL with athletes of this caliber. If you're trying to keep everything in front of you, there are guys that can get by you. Regardless of how well positioned you are, regardless of how strong you are, there are guys in the NFL that can just disappear, that can make you look like an idiot on any possible play or run you over. Like keeping it all in front of you, that's not that shouldn't be the strategy. Your strategy should be to fucking be in front of them, like go up in their face and hit them and make them play physical instead of sitting back, having Fletcher Cox, one of the best defensive players in the NFL, regardless of how you feel about him this season. He should not be playing off on a screen. I understand on third and long, that might be what's happening, but you take a look. You take a look at how they're lined up. You take a look at how the play is developing. Absolutely was never going to be a screen. And he's like, he has to do it because that's the play call. He can't be, you're not going to be an asshole and say, I'm not going to do that. That's just not how it works.
That's horrendous. I can't remember the last time I saw somebody on the Eagles like decapitate somebody. Like where's the grit? Where is the aggression? Where is just this dog mentality that I'm hearing so much about from Nick Sirianni right now? Because I'm not seeing it on the fucking field. I'm hearing about it in the press conferences, but I'm not seeing it on the field. And that ticks me off a lot. A lot.
For real, dude. That's the big issue. I mean, people didn't like Sirianni's press conferences to start. I was like, let's wait. Let's see if he can coach. Now that I know he can't coach, I fucking hate his press conferences. I'm like, shut up, you moron.
Dude, it's like Kapler all over again. Like it's
weirder though. It's weirder because like it's weirder. I don't know. Like I think Nick's sentences are more meandering and it shows that like Kapler's just like a straight freak, but Nick's like, I swear to God, that guy's stoned 24/7. I wrote about it today for the Liberty Line. I mean, when he's talking about the comparing the Eagles to a flower and are you watering, are you fertilizing? There's growth in the root system under the fucking soil. He sounds like my college roommate who would, rip the bong and fucking start talking to me about science. Like, and I would sit and listen. Like, and I'm like, wow, you're like, I don't know any of this, but you can't be doing that as the head coach of a football team with grown men. They're not going to take that seriously. They're just not. And when you are in a season,
oh my gosh,
when you're in a season like this, where this is a lost season, we're not making the playoffs unless there's some fucking gargantuan turnaround because Nick Sirianni is like a genius and he's just been like hustling the league, which I doubt is true. Fucking ADD. Oh my God. Yeah, dude, Nick Sirianni is bad. He's dumb. And he needs to keep these guys focused and engaged, especially when guys are older, when, they're like, fuck, man, I don't really want to play that hard. I'm getting paid. The season's done. Screw it. This sucks. I don't want to get my body banged up to go like 5 and 12. That's just not what I want to do.
Can you imagine?
Need to try and avoid that. And we're not.
Can you imagine what the guys in the locker room are thinking right now with their head coach going out there talking about fucking flowers and a press conference, and then just sprinkle in a little dog mentality with flowers?
That was so asinine. Like, dude, you aren't Doug Peterson. That was a different team. That was a completely different team. I can't believe the Super Bowl was only like 4 years ago.
Dude, it seems like a decade ago.
It's like it doesn't even matter to me anymore.
Yeah,
it's like
feels like a decade.
Here's the thing: we had our window where, as fans, we could say, "Hey, fuck it, we won." I think we're approaching the barrier. Maybe after this season, especially with how we played, it's not the same team anymore. Fewer guys on the roster from that team now than there ever have been. I think it's over. I think we as Eagles fans are no longer allowed to talk about. I mean, we can talk about the Super Bowl, but we can't be like, oh yeah, well, what about like rings? Like, I mean, with Cowboys fans, we can do it, but
Yeah.
like when we're comparing that to teams that are actually good right now, that doesn't hold any water. It just doesn't. And there was a point I could lean back on that, and I could feel good about myself knowing that my team had won a Super Bowl. And even though we're struggling right now, we have that memory. We have those guys. Now we don't have those guys. The memories are tainted, and everything's ruined. Everything is absolutely ruined.
Everything's terrible. I mean, it all started, you know what it started with? That progression of the Super Bowl just being like a faded memory. It all started when Carson Wentz left. It's when it all started.
Yeah.
Because and then Doug. Well, who was first, Doug or Carson?
I don't even know. I think it was Doug.
I can't remember. Yeah, it was Doug. Okay, so then I think it might have probably started with Doug. Whoever was first, Doug and Carson. I think of them going together at the same time.
Yeah.
It all started with that. I mean, because that was the end. It was basically an end of an era, an end of a four-year era. Like, what even is that?
Yeah.
It's not. I don't even think that counts as an era.
I mean, like, it's the closest thing we've got to an era. Like, it's just disappointing. It's disappointing to see the team in the state that it's in right now. And
it's horrendous.
It was just really tough to watch. So many people, like, that was the game they had circled on their calendar to travel for. Thousands of dollars spent just to get there and spend the night. Not even talking about tickets. Thousands of dollars already before you could just, and then you buy the $400 ticket, and then you buy the $1,000 beer and pretzels in the stadium. It's unfortunate that was the performance that the team put on when the road support was really fantastic. Because, I mean, we know Eagles fans travel, but if it's in a place like Las Vegas, like I mean, Eagles fans, we're degenerates. We're like, yes, this is like what we've always wanted.
Yes, I want to go to Vegas and gamble and drink and watch football. Yes, that's me.
Yes. Oh, you mean I can do everything I want in one place? Absolutely.
And spend all my money? Yes.
Yeah. It's for the team I love. They don't fucking love you, buddy. Clearly.
No.
Jesus Christ, man. Fucking, we got Jonathan Gannon. He looks like Pee Wee Herman. No wonder nobody's hitting anybody hard. He's like, ha ha.
Oh, God. It's so pathetic. I mean, these shows are like a lot less fun now that we're just a degenerates. I mean, we've always been a degenerate city, but just a depressed and pathetic sports city. We're back in that era right now. Is the depressing and pathetic. It's like 2010 all over again or something.
Dude, just the decline of 2021 has really been a great story to follow along. Because 2021, right when we're in there, Sixers, number 1, number 2 in the East. No football, that was over, so we weren't really thinking about that. And then, okay, the Sixers are good, but then, but they hadn't started either at the start of the year. So, like, we had a lot going forward. We had a lot of hope to start the year. A lot of, not even expectations, just hope to not suck. And we were let down pretty much on every front. I mean, Doug and Carson gone. That's the start. Like you said, that's the start of the whole decline of the year, because then Sixers lose to the Hawks.
Yep.
And there was that Embiid injury before then, or it happened a couple times. And then this, the Phillies were the Phillies. And then they suck. And now the Braves are in the World Series. The Eagles are, what are they, 2-5? Eagles are 2-5. And the Sixers, are terrible. The Sixers are terrible, which we'll get to right after. We'll get there right after the Doghouse, brought to you by Wide Blank Floor Supply. Visit their website at www.wideblankfloorsupply.com. Get a recommendation for a contractor. Get a quote. Wide Blank Floor Supply. If it's wide, they've got it. Sam, I'm going to start.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to start.
Yeah.
I know that, like, it's been a rough start for this guy, but I got to put Nick Sirianni in the doghouse. Yeah, Nick Sirianni absolutely belongs in the doghouse because he's a dummy.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's doing, and it's very clear. It's very clear. And it's disappointing. because I had really had high hopes for the guy. I thought he would be a leader of men, but it turns out he's like my third grade science teacher, Mr. Palmer, talking about flower roots and fucking drainage. Like, what is this?
Oh my God.
Am I at my Uncle Joe's farm in Vineland or learning about how to like grow eggplants, or am I in an NFL locker room? Like, what? It's ridiculous.
Yep.
Nobody needs it. And I just wish maybe he could have just, his explanation of it sucked too. Like the way he said everything. Like I said, he just sounded stoned. You read it, he sounds high. You hear it. I'm just like, what is your deal?
The worst part about it for me was he thought everybody, like he was talking like he knew, like everybody knew what he was talking about.
He was talking like everybody was like
everybody was getting it. Like he's like very engaged. Like everybody's understanding what I'm saying. No, nobody knows what the fuck you're saying.
Nobody knows what you're saying. You weird little man. Here's the thing, dude. I really do like him. I really want the best for him. And if he can prove me wrong, I will apologize and I will make amends. He doesn't care what I'm saying. He doesn't watch this show. I don't care. But I will apologize anyway if he proves me wrong and we end up with a winning record this year or something. He's like, because if we can do that, I mean, hey, then clearly there's something to this guy. But if we're going to keep playing football the way we're playing football with, like you said, no grit whatsoever, the hits aren't hard. I mean, we got guys wrapping up, but it's more like a soft hug.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they're hugging someone they don't really know. Mm-hmm. But like you met him at a party, you give him a hug. It's not like a bro hug. It's not like the way you hug a loved one. It's like that, yo, later, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple taps. All right, peace out. Like that's basically the way we're wrapping up the tackle.
Yeah. Awesome.
Disappointing. Yeah.
I can't wait.
This is great stuff.
I can't wait for Sunday. It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Who do we even play on Sunday? I don't even remember.
Sam, we play the Detroit Lions at 1 p.m. We're gonna have the same commentary crew, and they suck. And they
what
suck
a blockbuster
so hard.
of a football game,
dude. We're gonna lose.
Yeah,
we are going to lose. We are going to lose. But we'll get into that after your doghouse.
Yeah, my doghouse. My doghouse is the 76ers organization for stopping the fines going to Ben Simmons, because that is what should not have happened. The fines should keep piling up. This is expert analysis right now on my part. But no, like, I don't understand why they stopped fining the guy. I mean, he's not playing right now. He's still being a bitch. And it's like, I don't, so we're just going to reward him now for not doing anything for our basketball team. And he still wants a trade. So we're going to keep working on that. But what have you been doing the past 3 months?
Nothing.
No, I'm working on anything. We had no leads on trades right now. I'm telling you, I'd sell him away for a bag of peanuts and a pat on the ass. Yeah. Like, I get it done. Just get him out. Move on. Start building a basketball team. We'll be like a 4 seed. Whatever. Like, I don't give a shit. Yeah. You saw the Hawks. What were they? They were the 4 seed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they went on to go to the conference finals. It doesn't matter what seed you are. It just matters what you do when you fucking get there.
Yeah, dude.
So figure it out the rest of the season. 76ers organization, get Ben Simmons off the team. Keep finding his ass until you find a good spot for him, a good home for him, and move on with the rest of the season. I'm so sick of hearing about Ben Simmons in the news, and now I got to see more news about Ben Simmons, except he's not getting fined anymore.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
It is frustrating. I mean, there is something in the CBA, and it's in every contract where you can't find someone who's out for mental health concerns. Granted, some people are skeptical about that. I mean, I'm not going to speak on it. I don't know. I don't care. I mean, I care, obviously. Yeah. I hope he's fine or whatever. But, you know, I'm not like – but the Sixers, I mean, we really are kind of boned. Ben Simmons screwed the organization, and now the organization didn't act soon enough. I think there is a point where the situation is not the fault of the organization, but the ramifications of it almost are. Because, I mean, granted, no one could foresee Ben Simmons being as much of a prick as he's been and has tanked his trade value as much as he has. Yeah, but that's different.
Yeah, I did. I always knew he was a bitch.
Yeah. But did you know that he was, I want to be traded, but also let me completely remove my trade value?
Well, obviously I couldn't see that, but I always knew he was a bitch.
Yeah, but like that's like major bitch levels. But there is a point where this guy doesn't want to be here. Fucking trade him. Just trade him. There is a point where you have to look at yourself and just.
I know. It should have happened with the Jimmy Butler stuff. We should have kept Jimmy Butler and traded Ben Simmons.
I miss Jimmy so much. He's so good at basketball.
The only reason Jimmy Butler got traded was because Ben Simmons wanted the ball more. And then what did Ben Simmons do? Started passing the ball more. He didn't want the ball. He's got too much pressure on him. I can't. Ryan,
Sam.
I know it's the Sixers segment now.
Sam.
Or is it even? Have we even ended the doghouse?
We haven't ended the doghouse yet.
We haven't. End it. Go, and then we'll talk about
that was the doghouse. That was the doghouse brought to you by Wide Plank Floor Supply. Visit their website at www.wideplankfloorsupply.com. Get a recommendation for a contractor. Get a quote. Wide Plank Floor Supply. If it's wide, they've got it. Check out their showroom in King of Prussia. Floor-to-ceiling planks. They'll hook it up. You're a contractor? Go over there. They sell supplies to install the hardwood in the ground. It's amazing stuff. That said, Sam, now it is the Sixers segment. We are going to talk about the Philadelphia 76ers.
I don't want to.
I don't want to either. But we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Dude, the team's not very good. I'm just going to come out and say that. The team is very bad. Team is very bad.
Mm-hmm.
Team needs Ben Simmons. We are defensively inept without him. It's so very clear. And when the entire defense of the other team can just sit and watch Joel Embiid and the rest of the team can't do anything, that's not good. That's not good at all. No.
And Curry's not going to be popping off out of his mind every game either. Like he's not going to be an MVP every game like he was that one game against whoever the fuck it was. I don't even remember. The Pelicans, I guess. No, not the Pelicans. Whoever they played after that, I don't know. But I was feeling optimistic after the Pelicans. Have we recorded since that Pelicans game? I can't even remember.
Since the Pelicans game.
Since the opener?
Pelicans game.
Because they opened on Wednesday.
And we went the day before, yeah.
Yeah. So I was optimistic about that Pelicans game because I didn't know how good the Pelicans were. I didn't know how good the Sixers were going to be, but we ended up 20 balling them. I was like, oh shit, maybe it's not as bad as I thought.
The Pelicans are bad. They didn't even have Zion Williamson, who is having a very Ben Simmons like situation going on with his whole shit. His is all physical. He's just fatter than he was.
He's just fat, bro. What the hell?
He was already a thick boy.
Yeah,
he was already a very thick boy. Which nothing wrong with that. Everybody is beautiful, but in terms of basketball. Just from a basketball, relax. In terms of basketball, man, it's not pretty. It's not at all. And we lost to the Nets on Friday, and we only scored 1 point in the last 5 minutes.
Awesome. It's like classic Sixers basketball, man. It's awesome, isn't it? And Ben Simmons isn't even on the floor.
Yeah, dude. It's just that this is what the Sixers are, and. I mean, maybe if we had Ben, we could have stopped them from coming back. But you just can't get away with scoring 1 point in the last 5 minutes of a game. You just can't get away with that. And I don't know what this team is doing. And to be honest with you, I think the Sixers have a talented roster. I really do. There are just some issues right now that I think can be addressed, especially once Ben Simmons is not fucking here, when we don't have a $30 million black hole on our bench. When we can either move him for some pieces or for capital, or if we can get a difference maker, that's great. But having Tyrese Maxey as your starting point guard, not working. He's not De'Aaron Fox. He's not an actual point guard, which he's great with the ball in his hands, but he can only do so much. And he is a kid.
I know exactly what you're saying. He is a nice addition to a lineup. He's great coming off the bench. He's absolutely great coming off the bench as like your number 2 point guard.
Yes.
That's all. That's what he is right now. And I'm fine with that because we got we didn't draft him in the top 10. He was drafted 21st overall or whatever.
Something like that.
He's in his second year. He's going to be fine. Him coming off the bench right now, like if we go and get a blue chip guy, a point guard, whatever, because we need a point guard right now, and preferably a point guard that can play defense. I'm not dealing with Ben Simmons. He's not playing on my court anymore.
No, I don't think he wants to. I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. But keep Tyrese Mack, keep him on the bench. Honestly, trade if you want to use him in a trade to go get one of those guys, I'm fine with it at this point.
It makes sense. It would make sense to do that if that's what it's going to take to get an actual player back, and not 4 quarters for $1.
Yep.
Because that's the last thing I want from this trade. I don't want 4 players for this one
exactly.
star. That's not how that works. This isn't the Braves outfield. Okay, you can't just go.
That's good. Good one out of you. That was good.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
Bang! I got back from the bar last night and I was in my notes app. I was just mad about the Braves being in the World Series.
We can talk about. I want to give you my thoughts on that, but we can talk about that next. So let's keep going with the Sixers. I just don't want to trade Matisse Thybulle. That's my thing. I like Matisse Thybulle coming off the bench and playing solid defense because we got no other defense other than him.
Dude, I'm turning on Matisse a little bit.
No, you're not.
Yeah, and
he's so cute, Ryan.
My fucking God. That's why he's avoided criticism. That, and he's he's a kid, but he's literally same age as Ben Simmons. Some of the way that he handled interactions with the press just kind of came across like an entitled fucking asshole when they asked him about Ben Simmons. I didn't
see any of his press conferences.
Dude, he was so okay, what? And everyone's like, he sunned him. I'm like, no, Matisse was just being a dick. Just say, I'd rather not talk about that. Or don't be I don't even know what you're talking about. You're not, I don't know who you are. I don't know who you think you are. You're literally a fucking bench player. You don't get to talk like a superstar if you can't shoot a basketball. You can't dribble. You can't play the game of basketball on one half of the floor and you talk to reporters like you're fucking Michael Jordan. Absolutely not. I'm not having any of that in my city. Absolutely.
I didn't know any of that. I mean,
because it's been stewing. Because that's not something that you can just say oh, bang, hot take, Matisse Thybulle's an asshole. That's something you need evidence.
He's a dick.
He's an ass. I need to compile evidence and share. and if people don't believe me, look it up. Look up training camp, media day interviews. He posted a video with JJ Redick, or he was on the JJ Redick's podcast, and it was entitled, or at least the clip from the interview was entitled "A Nuanced Conversation About Ben Simmons," and it was 7 minutes long. You can't have a nuanced discussion about anything in 7 minutes. Let alone
let alone about Ben Simmons. I mean,
can I be honest with you? It was the most fucking surface level conversation for two people to be having that actually know the guy. It sounded like something that you and I would say. It sounded like us talking about Ben Simmons. And these two guys are people that have played with him. I'm just is this what you think is groundbreaking content? It's get out of your own, get your own, get off your own dick.
Two famous guys on a podcast, they think and then they'll automatically get more views just because.
I mean, do they know more about actual basketball than us? Absolutely. I mean, they play professional basketball, but I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
screw them. Screw them.
What about the rest of the team? How do they look?
Dude, Isaiah Joe sucks. He was supposed to be literally a backup point guard to Tyrese Maxey, either him or Furkan. Either way, I don't like that.
That's awful. That's scary.
Maxey at the 1. People are like, oh, yeah, dude, Maxey PG1. I'm like, okay. This is fun. It's a fun idea. It's a fun idea, but we'll see how it works.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
We're having a great time.
It doesn't work. Dude, awesome. The team's bad. The team is bad. Watching the Knicks last night was unbearable. It was an unwatchable game. It truly was from start to finish.
Thank God I didn't watch it.
Dude, I'm standing up in the bar screaming at the TV. There's some other guys and they're just dude, it's just not even worth watching anymore. I'm I know, man. But I'm you guys don't think they can come back? They're what do you think? I'm no. No. Fair enough, guys.
Actually, nobody in my house. I got 3 Knicks fans in my house and me Sixers. So I would assume that we would have watched, and neither of us watched.
Wild. That's fine.
Watched. So
that's fine, dude.
It's unbearable at this point. I don't even. I just if I watch the Sixers, it's like taking angry pills. You know, like
My
it's
blood
exactly
boils.
what it is. I am voluntarily watching this game just so I can get angry.
Dude, we're hate watching. We're
Yeah,
hate watching the 76ers.
terrible.
It's ridiculous. And dude, I'll be honest, man. There are some issues with the roster construction. Danny Green should not still be here.
No.
Andre Drummond is a fine addition.
Weird, but okay.
Weird, but fine.
Yeah.
But it comes down to the coaching, man. These all bench lineups, they're never gonna work. And I've actually also I'm done with Doc Rivers. I'm done with Doc Rivers. I know we're only 4 games in, but it's the same shit, different day. I know it's a long season. Things can change. I reserve my right to change my opinion on that. If he proves me wrong, I'll state what my opinion was before, and I will change it because he has proven me wrong, and I will eat my words. But I highly doubt that will happen. That's 2 current coaches here in Philadelphia that I go, I'm so confident that you will fail in your goals that I will openly apologize to you. And I don't like apologizing. I don't.
No.
Makes me sweaty, makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it.
That's
great. But we're bad, man. We're bad.
Yeah.
Doc Rivers is bad.
Do you want to talk about 2 good teams instead?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's talk about the World Series.
Dude.
Fuck. All right, Ryan, I gotta give you my take. I know I kind of sprinkled it on you and Seamus a while ago, and you both shat on me for it. But I want the Braves to win this World Series over the Astros. I do. And I know you can put me on trial, whatever. Don't call me a fake fan, whatever. I reserve my right to my opinion as to why I like the Braves in this World Series right now.
Mm-hmm.
One of them being Freddie Freeman. I love Freddie Freeman. I acknowledge that he has been a Philly killer for as long as he's been in the league. But I just can't. You just can't hate that guy. He's on the He's on the field. He's having a fucking blast. He's been with the Braves for 10 plus years at this point, and he's about to. He has a chance to get a ring. I mean, this is what the sport's all about. I love guys like that. Baseball. He's gritty. He's got a fucking beautiful swing, and he's just so fun to watch. And he's the nicest, the most genuine guy. His kids are hilarious, and it's just one of those things. And the Braves, they're fucking gritty, man. They lost their best player, probably the best player in the NL, in fucking Ronald Acuna Jr. in the first month of the season. And then they kind of coasted for a little bit. But you know what their organization did? They said, all right, we're going to bring in 3 leadoff hitters and put them in the lineup, in the same lineup. Now look where they are. In the World Series.
They got guys that can get on base so they can drive those runs home.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude. It's like
it's not that hard.
We walked into the trade deadline with a similar problem to the Braves. Lack of outfield depth, and we didn't have a leadoff hitter. Granted, they had a guy that then they lost. But then they still were able to parlay whatever assets they have and go out and get 3 actual baseball players.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the Phillies, what did we do at the deadline? We got that one guy.
Kyle Gibson, Ian Kennedy, and Freddie Galvis.
Okay.
So yeah, like pretty close to Jock Peterson, Eddie Rosario, and no, get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? That's terrible.
Did we need the pitching? Did we need Ian Kennedy
and
and Kyle Gibson? I like Kyle Gibson. Ian Kennedy's got
great. Yeah.
He's got a case of the nukes. Ian Kennedy does. Yeah. He's got radiation poisoning.
Explosive diarrhea off of a baseball bat. Yeah.
Grody. But yeah, dude, like we had that as an issue. And granted, our farm system's terrible. Can't really give too much up anyway, but I don't know. They just went out and they problem solved. And now here they are. They've got their manager, Snicker, right?
Yep.
Apparently, like I was watching something. He's been with the Braves organization for like 50 years, 45 years.
Kudos. It's just another reason to like the Braves, man.
It's a great story. This Braves team winning it will be a great story. And I see that even like they did like a poll across the country, and the only states that they pulled that are rooting for the Astros are, of course, Texas,
Texas, yeah.
Louisiana,
Sure, right next to it.
and Delaware.
Oh
So
my God.
there is like there's a pro Astros stronghold in Delaware. But like
Oh my God, that's unreal.
there is a point where it's like I have to wonder, outside of liking the Braves, like I can't sit here and say I love Freddie Freeman as much as you. I mean, I do like him, but
Yeah.
it part of most of the country, like to them, the Braves are America's team because the Astros cheated. They barely got punished, and now here's a chance for the Braves to take that away from them. And if obviously a chance for Houston to win another one and prove to everybody that they can do it both ways, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess.
So that's what's tough. So it's like I'm torn because obviously fuck the Astros, like the trash throws. It's great.
Yep.
The trash cans, great jokes.
Yeah.
I just wish we could have done I wish we could have had it sooner after it. Then maybe I would be able to, but I don't know. I'm on the fence. I just want it to go 7. I want a good series. I mean, that's ultimately what I root for.
It's proving to be so far. I mean, I know the Braves kind of shat on the Astros last night, but it was really good offense all around. I mean, it was really fun to watch, and both pitching staffs are phenomenal. This is the most interesting World Series we've had in forever. I like
most
this
interesting.
Matchup. Yeah, I like this matchup a lot.
I like it too. It's one. I'm just taking a look at the score. It's 1-1 in the bottom of the second right now.
Is it? Yeah, they got the game on out in my living room right now. I haven't heard anything, but
yeah, dude, it'll be a good series. It'll be good to watch. But it's October baseball. It's a foreign concept to me. It's just something I see on a flat screen. I've never.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I never had a dog in the fight since I was in 4th grade.
Yeah, dude. That's the way it goes sometimes, man. That's the way it goes. You go through your entire development as a human being,
dude, think
without
about this.
seeing a single playoff game.
My dad has been an Eagles fan his whole life, right? And they only won a Super Bowl 4 years ago. And my dad was
crazy.
Well into his 50s. And he never saw – I mean, he saw the Super Bowl against the Patriots, right? But he never saw a winning football team. That's how we are with baseball right now. Yeah, my dad grew up with the 80 Phillies and the 93 Phillies. Like no, I haven't. I've seen the 08 Phillies, and I was barely old enough to wipe my own ass.
Yeah, that's pretty much the way it goes.
Yeah,
like it sucks. It really sucks because baseball is great. I really enjoy watching baseball. The broadcasts suck more often than not. Just because the people they choose to do them are bad. Dude, Joe Buck is a fucking moron.
He's such a weirdo, man. He's the Gabe Kapler of the broadcast booth. I hate how many times we brought up Gabe Kapler.
Give him the sign off.
I have
give him the sign off.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to this edition of the Wolves of Broad Street podcast. My name is Sam Glavin. You can follow me at SamGlavin06. You can follow my wartime consigliere, Ryan Conway, at Ryan Conway76. Follow us on all the social media things at Wolves Abroad ST. Check out at Liberty Line PHL and thelibertyline.com. More information to come on those betting codes from Parks Casino, which is pretty freaking sweet. Buy a fucking shirt. Seamus G, close us down.